Thank you very much for the opportunity today to talk to you about how the brilliant work you're doing can help deliver net zero carbon outcomes in human settlements all over the world, and how urgent this is now. First, a little historical context. In 2008-9, when I was leading Arup's global planning business, I had the opportunity to write and give the Institution of Civil Engineers Brunel lecture, and chose to answer the question, what would be the role of technology and engineering in delivering what China called the ecological civilization, in which we lived in harmony with nature and tackled climate change and ecological destruction. I gave the presentation in 38 cities in 26 countries and learned a lot from the feedback. I had already in 2006 promoted the idea of thin film PV on roofing panels to chorus as part of the solution. In 2011, I left Arup and set up my own charity, the Ecological Sequestration Trust, to try to help accelerate global change, and in particular to foster systems thinking, modelling and collaborative approaches, which I'd learned from working on Chinese eco-cities. In the same year, Chorus rang up to say that Specific at Swansea University was being set up and invited me to join the advisory board, and I've been involved in that and then Sunrise over the last 9 years. My guiding philosophy has been to work closely in bringing together academia, private sector, government, population, civil society, art and culture to bring about the changes we need. Sunrise is a perfect example which I'm very proud to be part of, and of course at the same time to stretch work across a vast multidisciplinary field to help communities to be more sustainable and resilient. I'm so pleased that Sunrise is not just about solar energy, but also using the energy for water and waste treatment, powering electric transport. As time has passed since 2011, the climate change and ecological destruction emergencies have got much worse, and so we need to move much faster to decarbonise than we ever imagined at the start of the journey together. The World Green Building Council announced a campaign in 2018 for all buildings to advance to net zero emissions. COP26 in the UK, now delayed until November 2021, has a programme to help and encourage all countries to accelerate the transition to net zero across all aspects of our lives by 2050, just 30 years away. This covers the whole spectrum of life, not just buildings and energy, but includes industry, travel, agriculture and mining, with a parallel aim to reverse deforestation and ecological destruction. This is about retrofit and new build globally, a truly massive multi-trillion-dollar opportunity for companies like those of you here with the right technologies and approaches. Also in parallel, you're part of one of the most extraordinary technology developments ever seen, in which the costs of large-scale solar energy supply have fallen much faster than predicted even 5 years ago, and have now already reached levels expected in 2035. Solar energy combined with storage has now reached prices in large-scale auctions which are approaching 1 penny per kilowatt hour. This makes solar energy and also offshore wind much cheaper than thermal power stations and nuclear. We're beginning to realise that decentralised generation and storage within the fabric of cities is a more resilient and cheaper, and can be funded by local communities, just what we need when governments have been overwhelmed by debt. The world needs 900 million new affordable homes over the next 10 years to meet Sustainable Development Goal targets, and the work you're doing shows how this can be done affordably with net zero emission outcomes. A critical feature is the integrated systems approach to heat and electrical energy generation and storage. But looking out around the world, this isn't happening because people don't know it's possible. Sunrise clearly aims to help tackle this. Achieving net zero in settlements requires looking at the wider systems of water, energy, waste and food, and associated mobility, health, education, police and fire services. Technology integration and its role in management within local cultures is something you are exploring, and the role of retrofitting of microgrids and energy storage systems is critical. We've learned it's not just about energy efficiency, but more about active systems management. My charity created an operating company, Resilience Brokers, in 2016 to help further speed up change, and this has brought us closer together in places like Mexico. We were able to arrange a presentation of Sunrise in Oaxaca, and there is interest in GIZ in taking forward some demonstration projects there. But your main focus is in India, where it seems the urgency for change and rollout of new technologies is seen to be an increasing priority. So the work you're doing together is so important for the future. Coming back to our work over the last 9 years, we've been developing an integrated systems planning tool, resilience.io, which will enable whole regions to plan investments in delivering net zero outcomes. This covers land use, human living patterns and needs, and the infrastructure, increasingly electric and decentralized, combined with nature-based solutions. In order to ensure future resilience, regional planning needs to be connected to long-term Earth-scale changes, impacts and risks. One of those is the increasing emergence of zoonotic diseases linked to deforestation and climate change. Linking global and local digital models may happen over the next few years in Europe and China. A feature of these life cycle models is the creation of digital twins or process blocks for infrastructure such as buildings that describe their resource flows over their lifetime and the maintenance needs and costs. This is something I think you should create for Sunrise systems, and they can be linked to performance specifications for local construction in the future. Since Sunrise started, COVID-19 has spread quickly around the world and changed everything, devastating our economies. I hope you're all keeping safe. Governments are all creating stimulus investment packages, and green investment and tackling climate change are emerging as opportunities for job creation and creating a more resilient future. When COVID impacted in March this year, Resilience Brokers and colleagues brought together online a team of 150 volunteers, sector systems experts and young people from all over the world to build an AI-driven systems model designed to help governments and local authorities create a range of policy and investment scenarios for recovery which tackle climate change and don't take us back. We're training one of the world's most powerful AI problem-solving machines to understand systems interconnections between human and ecological activities at all scales. We're building the model using a trusted data source, Wikipedia. Each of the 23 multidisciplinary work streams selects around 100 Wikipedia words to sketch and then build a Kumu model, which is now being programmed into the AI platform. The platform is able to access billions of open websites and research papers for data like your research papers, including the papers referenced by Wikipedia. Let me show you the Kumu model to look at national regeneration for society, natural environment and the economy. You can see how these are connected through 4 black workstream nodes, including infrastructure, to a large range of factors, including air quality and carbon emissions. As we zoom out, you can see more and more of the 400 plus aspects that the work streams have connected up. You can see the selected word shown on the left with all the connected references used. Now jumping to carbon, you can see immediately how it connects to air pollution and through the work streams connects to many other relevant activities including jobs. As we zoom out again and see the complexity, you can understand how it is essential to use artificial intelligence to help us understand where the virtuous circles of benefit can arise as we explore recovery scenarios. We're being told in pivot projects by people all over the world that they don't want to go back. They want clean air, walking and cycling, more work from home, more green space, reliable access to water and sanitation, and resilient local food supply. They want regenerative land and ocean farming. Most of all, they want their world to run on renewables, not fossil fuels, and the costs, as I've said, now make that possible. We're now talking about a regenerative economy in which job creation and improved health, rooted in ecological health, become the priority. Because running costs are lower, investment in all this makes sense, and there is enough private capital to do it with very low interest rates. Sunrise is at the heart of this, but the needs and speed of response required are overwhelming. I think we need to move much faster. I've thought deeply about what we should do to address the crisis and opportunity. I want to propose today the setting up of a new organisation, a Global Settlements as Power Stations Institute, to build and roll out tools, training, products and services, including finance, to enable people all over the world to economically retrofit and build human settlements which meet these pressing needs and can grab the opportunity locally in both hands. I propose a membership model which, after some seed funding to set it up, can self-finance. I suggest it could start in the UK, India, Mexico and South Africa, the Sunrise regions, but quickly grow globally, operating largely online with global webinars. I've suggested those that might wish to be members and partners, but of course there may be others. This can be a not-for-profit spin-off from Pivot Projects, the volunteer project, and I'm prepared to push it along quickly if you'll support me and create a win-win. Hopefully it can create a huge pull on accelerating your great work and the evolving products and ideas that you have. It's been a great privilege to work with you all, and I look forward to an exciting future together, despite the challenges we're facing. You're all working very hard on a mission of huge value to your local communities, the right approach at the right time. You should be very proud of your work, and I hope you're energized to achieve even more success. Thank you, and stay safe.